Startup ecosystem, what the idea is that you have to learn how to pitch your idea clearly and concisely. And once you learn how to do that, then you can bring in all the stakeholders and you can get into programs that'll help you and train you on how to build it. But that first step is you have to design a business model that is desirable.
When I initially moved back to Pensacola, I had a meeting with Lloyd. Lloyd invited me for breakfast, and I was telling him, man, I still have an idea for the entertainment industry. This is what I wanted to do. He was like, all right, I got Startup on the Blocks. So I need you to start coming to Startup on the Blocks and get a little more information on how to work through the tech ecosystem and take your idea and we'll get you where you need to go. My company is called The Know, is an app that is streamlining business for the entertainment industry. Yeah, so if you're a musician, what you would do is pretty much jump on the platform, you'll create a profile, but the way we created the profile is pretty much a cleaner way. So now if they want more information about you, you'll connect your social media platforms, your streaming platforms, and that way they can go directly to it. What we also have included is your calendar. So pretty much you can set your days, you can set your price for your days and automate your booking. So initially talking to Lloyd, my idea was all here, it was there, it was over here, it was over there. It was like, all right, Quinn, I get it. You got a lot that you want to do, but we need you to bring it in just a little bit and then work on your pitch, your story, and how you're going to bring it full circle to get people to understand what you're trying to create.
Most of the programs here wasn't inclusive. And so we said we'll focus on helping founders of color. We also start at the beginning of the thing, at the idea stage, whereas a lot of the programs you see here locally, they start after you're up and that's not very efficient unless if you don't have a lot of money, you can't recover from your mistakes. And the lean startup system, it actually helps you make mistakes faster before you spend a lot of money. You don't actually start building anything until you got customer buy-in.
There was a need for small businesses to bring brand awareness to their business. I see there's a lot of makers and bakers that they're making all of these goodies and these products, but they can't market it, they can't sell it at the same time, and there needs to be kind of like that middleman, that middle person to help bring economic growth to some of the small businesses in Pensacola. So Taste of Pensacola, I came up with that idea during the pandemic when I saw things at that time that Amazon couldn't fulfill. They didn't even have those products, but the local people in the community, they did. And so there was a ton of people coming out saying, hey, I make masks. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. All the local people here that are just as talented that can actually make those products. And so I wanted to kind of showcase who they were. So with Taste of Pensacola, our income streams, we have several of them. We have the corporate America, we do corporate gifting, just regular consumers, different Pensacola natives that don't live here that want to purchase our boxes, like a taste of weddings, distribution. So we also do bulk sales. So for a private airline, if they want some local snacks and goodies on their passenger flights, they will come to Taste of Pensacola and we will source their vendors here locally. And we'll give a small business owner an opportunity to have reoccurring monthly sales. I've always had a really big vision for Taste of Pensacola. I knew that it could go beyond just local. I know that maybe other communities could possibly use the same platform that I'm trying to build. And I always have these big visions, but I never know how to even get there. Where do I start? I know it's more than, there's a lot of technical things behind it. I know there's a lot of research, but that connection, I never had it until, thankfully, again, I met and was introduced to Startups on the Blocks and was able to just learn more about how to grow it in terms of data. Things I just never thought about, framework, words like traction. There's a lot of things that I just did not know about in language that I need to know in order to get funding for my business. There's just a lot that I didn't know.
I would go to the stores and look online. They didn't have a wide variety of natural hair products about 8 years ago. And the ones that they did have, the ingredients, it would say that they were all natural. And when I would research the ingredients, a lot of the ingredients were not natural. I make everything, my shampoo, conditioner, I have an oil that I make, and I have 2 different separate butters. Like I had some people who were completely bald and grew their hair. It's about giving women their confidence back in their hair. I have this salon and I have a second salon, and I have my products in about 5 beauty supply stores. So I need a manufacturer to keep up with the demand at this point. Startup on the Blocks has helped my business grow, send me to different people. I'm able to do different pitch competitions to apply for grants in the community for small businesses. Lloyd's a really good person to connect with. He has a lot of resources here in the community that can help small businesses grow. If you have a product out there and you're trying to go big time, he's the person that you would want to meet with.
So it's really important to have some type of support because 9 times out of 10, most founders start out on their own. And to have somebody that has an idea of how the ecosystem works and is able to tap into other resources and bring back to the community, and that pretty much has encountered some of the roadblocks or going through the same roadblocks that we're currently going through and understands where you're at, your culture and how you respond to things, is a big help because you don't really have too many people that have access to what we have access to here in the community. And a lot of people believe that you have to leave and go to bigger cities to do the things that we're doing here. But I mean, it's one thing to have exposure, but you have to actually know it's here in the community in order to take advantage of the resources. So I get approached and I talk to friends all the time that wants to either start an idea or hear that I'm actually doing the app and wants to know more information about how are you doing it or what's the process, what's the path. I'm like, man, we have somebody here, Startup on the Blocks, Lloyd Richard. And Lloyd is here, he's a great resource to the community and to founders that's trying to learn the ecosystem. So join Startup on the Blocks.
Well, for sure, join Startup on the Blocks, Startup Founders Best Practices. We're excited to be here tonight. This is our 5th anniversary and our 244th event or something like that. I lost track of so many of them. We've been doing this for 5 years every Thursday night, and so I want to thank all the speakers we've had on throughout the years, all the ecosystem folks, and I just really appreciate all the founders joining in to help make our program a success. And I'm excited tonight because we're still doing what we got started doing. We were doing pitch competitions before we had all the training platforms, and it's been great. And so we got a current opportunity for a pitch competition, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that tonight and show you how you can get involved with that and and earn $1,000 in the pitch competition. We're going to 3 founders are going to walk away with $1,000 each, and it's not as hard as some people think. It's just a matter of doing the work, and I'm going to show you how you can leverage AI to kind of help you do the work. And out of all these 5 years interviewing over 300 founders and hosting so many 14 different demo days and half a dozen pitch competitions, learned a lot from chatting with founders and mentoring founders. And we got a great team of coaches, lean stack coaches. And so they've been instrumental in supporting the founders. We have a large team of judges, thanks to Carmen. He's been helping us with that. And the judges really chip in and help the founders and give them guidance, give them feedback. And that's one of the lessons I've learned from working with founders is when you, if a founder keeps asking questions, they make the most progress. The founders that don't ask questions, they don't make the progress because there's a lot of things that a founder needs to know. And so you have to just keep asking questions so you can get the feedback you need to move forward. It's a big old ecosystem out here, a lot of opportunities, and so the key thing is you got to be curious in order to take advantage of the resources. My philosophy is whenever you want to do something, there's always plenty of resources out there to help you get it done. You just have to be curious enough to go looking for it. And so we found a lot of help in bringing you all these different programs and opportunities. In the past, we partnered with the BIT Foundation and helped train a bunch of their members to be founders. We got a partnership with Startup Science, and that's an amazing platform with so many resources. It's crazy. You got training on there. You got grants on there. You got pitch competitions on there. You got tools on there to help you figure out things about your startup. It's just so many things. You can get all the knowledge you need to kind of move forward. Partners like Coda is software you can run your whole company off Coda, and a lot of people don't realize the significance of a software like Coda. It's 80% of the Fortune 100 companies use that software, and I guess you should be curious about it. Why are they embracing that type software? And just tons of partners. Make Startup got a platform called Co-Founder OS. What I like about that, it actually helps you understand and learn how to answer questions when you fill out applications for pitch competitions or to get in accelerator programs. It gives you feedback on how well you answered the question. And also you can get a national certification with that as well. And Pitch Bob is all I can say about Pitch Bob. Is off the chain. They got so many resources, and we partner with them, and you can get their stuff at half price. And I think the the their prices are one-time prices of like $50, and yeah, so it's real inexpensive. But you got AI coach there that helps generate all your startup documents, gets you connected with accelerator programs, and it also has perks that you can get free cloud credits and all kinds of free software. So the like all I can say, there's no shortage of resources, and we have the training platforms. We have we've accumulated a lot of resources over the past 5 years, and based on what we found that the founders actually need, and like the Lean Stack platform, in essence, you know, you need a roadmap for your founders journey. So that's what that program is all about. It actually helps you know where you are. It actually helps you explain to people where you are. It teaches you how to pitch. I mean, it teaches you how, it has the tools to make sure your business is viable, desirable, and feasible. I mean, and it teaches you how to sell. So it's a really fantastic platform. We partner with Black Innovation Alliance, the Black Innovation Leaders of Florida, and uh, I went through the Goody Nation program out of Atlanta up there with Joey Womack. It's an excellent program, and they work with Black and Brown founders as well, and helping holding them accountable. And if you can get in their program, they have a bunch of resources as well. Joey has did an excellent job doing. And so, in order for us to bring you a lot of stuff you do, like this platform we're using, we do the annual Black Founders Innovation Summit, and it takes a lot of funding to make that happen. The training platforms are expensive, and it seems like everybody's trying to charge more these days. But we just appreciate all these different companies and individuals that support us. A big shout out to Ron Moore, Synergy Construction Group out of St. Louis. He's been a promoter of what we're doing, and one of our first founders, we're first sponsors, I guess I can say it like that. All righty, so we call that program the Black Founders Program, and it teaches you how to stress test your business model. And if you do that QR code, go to apply.cocoainstitute.org. You get connected and you get access to Lean Stack. And what I would tell anybody right now, the Lean Stack is changing their licensing. Right now, we have unlimited licensing so for founders to take that training. So if you're on the fence about taking that training, you better get in now, because after first of the year, we won't be able to offer it to everybody like we've been doing it for the past 3 or 4 years. So that's the way life is. Things change. Yep. And so excited that we got our cohort 6 kicked off on Monday. And on September 11th, we having a demo day where 3 founders going to walk away with $1,000. And tonight, I'm going to show you how you still can get in that program and use AI to get the most of the work done and in that program, and have a chance to be one of the 10 people that get a chance to pitch. People always say they want money, but you have to know how to pitch your business model in order to get money, and that's what we're gonna start tonight. And when I say pitch, I mean you have to fill out applications. Like we, the ecosystem has got a lot of opportunities, but all of them require you to fill out an application. When you're filling out the application, you're literally pitching your business, and so that's what we're teaching you how to do and how to move forward. And so take advantage of that opportunity right there. It's a class, but the class you get you work only on your business and nothing else. You learn how to build a scalable business model, and you learn how to pitch it. And we got all the tools to help you move forward with that. So don't miss out on that opportunity. So you might wonder what is pitching all about, and how can you get involved in that. And so I'm going to see, can I find the little pitch template here? So let's see if I can find it. Let's see, which one is this? Got that for later on. Okay, I may just be simple and just open up another tab here and get that up for you. But I definitely want to show you how to do it. I think I got it right here. Okay, yes, and I'll blow this up a little bit more, and you should be able to enlarge your screen. On the lower right hand corner there, you should be able to go to full screen if you need to. Yeah. And so in this demo day that we have coming up, you're going to be doing a business model story pitch. And so this business model story pitch has 10 slides in it. And in the course, you're all the 4 different workshops, you're actually building the stuff that goes on these 10 slides. And if you can follow this template, and because the judges for the pitch competition, each one of these slides are worth 10 points. And if you can master these slides, you can win the pitch competition. And so it just requires you to do the work. And so we know a lot of founders, especially Black founders, they're have a lot going on. They may be working 2 jobs, 3 jobs. They may be, taking care of parents or grandparents. They may be taking care of kids or grandkids. Everybody's busy. And so you have to realize that you still can get this done, and you don't have to quit your job. You don't have to neglect your family. You just have to follow the instructions and leverage the AI to help you get it done. I can't say it any plainer than that. I'm going to show you an example here tonight. So this pitch template is from the Lean Stack platform, and it's how you communicate your business model. And so that's, so when you're explaining your business, people want to hear these things. And if you don't say these things, they're going to just say you're not ready. It's literally as simple as that. And most of us like to get out there and pitch our solution. And I guess the solution slide is on here. Let's see where it is. It's slide 4. But a business, the solution is less than 10% of what the business is all about. Your business revolves around partners, sales channels, your customer segments, your unique value proposition, your cost, your revenue model. And if you go out there pitching your product, that's not going to cut it. You have to pitch how you make money with your product. And so that's what these 10 slides are all about. And we'll get down and take a closer look at slides 7 and 8. They want to know your milestones and metrics. And so this one says this is where you demonstrate how you gain traction. That's the first thing. Anybody that wants to help you want to know what kind of traction you have. And so in the class, you develop a traction roadmap tool that tracks your progress. And so, and then you get a printout that says what you need to do each month in order to build that traction and that progress. And then they want to know where you at on that traction roadmap. And so that's what that slide 8 is about. And so what I'll do is now what I want to do is just I'll stop showing this. And what we want to do next is we want to take a look at if I can find the right screen. I hate having to flip all around here. Let's see. Let me just get out of this thing here a second. Get to escape here and get to. Okay, so I got a step-by-step procedure that you need to use, and you can actually join the cohort and just follow these steps. And I'll walk through these steps right now, and I'm going to put this link in the chat that has these steps. Okay, so you'll have them if. So this is what I'm going to quickly demonstrate how you can actually use AI to help you with your what you're doing. So the first tool that we created a couple of years ago, it's called the business idea prompt. And so this business idea prompt was designed to take you through the business model design course that leads you to the pitching. And I'll pull this back up again so you can actually see what the deal is there. So in the course, you have to create a big idea canvas. That's what this is. This is a lean canvas. And the lean canvas is a one-page business plan for if you don't realize that. And then you break that lean canvas up into your customer segments, all the different customer segments you have. But if you notice, you start off with around 5 customer segments, but in the end, you end up with one customer segment that you focus on. And that's most people are aware of the target market concept. And so, but what you're doing in the program, you're stress testing each of those customer segments for desirability is the first screening. And the one that gets past that test, you go to the viability test. Can you make money? Can you reach your goal with this? And I will tell you point blank, all those founders I've been interviewing, some of them been working on their startup or business for years, and they're working on using a business model that's not viable. And we have a tool in the Lean Stack platform that in 5 minutes you can determine if your business or business idea is viable. So it's worth it to take time to do that. And then after whatever past this pricing viability test, you see it's concerned about your pricing and your metrics. That's what those 2 blocks are for. And then you do your feasibility test, and you take the results of all this, and this is what goes into your business model story pitch. That- That's what's happening. And then once you've got a solid, scalable business model, then you can enter into our launch program. It's a 90-day program, and it's starting in September, the second week in September. And so we're going to have another pitch competition in December for those who go through that course, and we're going to be giving away $5,000, and that one founder is going to get 2,500, one's going to get 1,500, and one's going to get 1,000. And mind you, this is our 10th cohort. We've got 6 with this Black Founder Program and 4 with the Blacks in Technology. So we've been doing this a long time. This is our 10th 30-day cohort. And even before we did that, we did 6 pitch competition. And so we're telling you what works, and you can think you did everything and whatever, but if you don't, and a lot of founders have also found this out over the years, they have amazing platform solutions that they built, but they're having trouble selling, getting customers. And that's what our 90-day program teaches you how to do, how to create an offer that you can onboard customers and establish repeatable revenue. So the course is really really worth it, and to participate. And right now, the program, our launch program, we don't, anybody that wants to participate can participate, and and so that's kind of what the deal is. All right, so the first thing this thing tells you to do. So there's only a few steps to get started, and this is starting from zero. If you just have a business idea, or this also works if you have an existing business. And so it's got 2 things you have to do, and the first one is divided up into several these 4 steps. And so, and the last thing I have on here is just we got some link to some stuff that will speed up your learning, using AI. So it's a neat resource. Okay. All right. So the first thing is the business idea prompt. What we're going to do is show you the process that you use with that. And so the reason why I was showing you that stuff earlier, what the course does, this business idea prompt does all those things that you're required to do in the Lean Stack platform and more. And so all you have to do is, and this link to this thing is in that document that I gave you in the chat there. So in red here, you have to write in whatever your business idea is and whatever industry that's in. And then that information gets used in the prompt. And this prompt has 14 steps. And these steps are designed to accomplish everything that's need to be done in our 30-day program and prepare you for the pitch. It even at the end provides you the script for your pitch. And so, and just so you know, when you run the prompt, up until a few weeks ago, we were just telling people just to run it in the normal mode, but now we tell people to run it in the research mode. But it works fine if you run it in the normal mode as well. And then if you run it that way, it takes less than 5 minutes. If you run it in the research mode, it takes a little longer. And so the first thing that this prompt does, it lists all the stakeholders in your industry and their pain points. So now with that result of that, you know your whole industry and what problems they have. And so you got a world view of your industry and the people that participated in it. And so that's the first thing that it does. So it just opens your eyes up. And then The next thing it does, it determines 10 to 15 different business models. So you may have an idea that I want to have a retail location, or I want to do something this way to make money or that way to make money. Based on those pain points in those industry, it comes up with 10 to 15 ways you can make money. So it expands your knowledge of how you can make money by solving those problems. And then what it does, it ranks those based on scalability, the top, from first down to 15. And then it takes the top 3 and combines them into one business and then it creates a lean canvas, which is equivalent to that big idea canvas, that you do the first week in the business model design class. So so that's what number 4 is. Number 5, if you remember, you had to do variations for all your customer segments. So it creates the variations for each customer segment. It creates a business plan for each customer segment, because you can't market to all segments at once. And they, one segment may be a business, another segment may be an individual, another segment may be an enterprise deal. So there's no way you can have the same approach for each customer. And then the first test that you do, the desirability test, is you create a why now elevator pitch, and it has the template for the why now elevator pitch. And that only involves the customer segment, the problem that customer segment has, and what are the alternatives that they're currently using to solve those problems, and your unique value proposition. And so for each customer segment, the AI creates a why now elevator pitch for each one of those. And then the next step in the deal, and I'll try to speed up here, it ranks those customer segments based on desirability. And then the next thing, we start stress testing for viability, and that's just based on scalability. But in the actual course, we have the traction roadmap tool that it takes 5 minutes you put your goal in there, and it develops a customer factory for you, and you put your pricing in there and all your other metrics, and it's like about 7 numbers, and 6 of them are default. The only number that you really need to be concerned about is your pricing. How much do you charge your customers? And then so it ranks those different variants based on for viability. And that's based on your pricing. Can you make enough money to reach your goal? The tool gives, so I won't say any more about that. And then the next stress test is feasibility. It does that. See, it's taking me more than 5 minutes to go through all this stuff. The AI gives you the answer in less than 5 minutes to all these things. And so that's what you gotta remember. The stress test feasibility, then it ranks the customer segments based on feasibility. And in your pitch, you have to have a rollout plan, your business model story pitch. And so it creates the rollout plans as well. And then based on that template I showed you, it tells you what you need to have on each slide. So it creates the information that you need to have on each slide. And so it has the template for the pitch, right? It's built into the thing. And finally, it creates the narrative. So when we do the demo day online on September 11th, we're going to give you 3 minutes to pitch and give you 4 to 5 minutes for the judge to ask you questions about your pitch. And so that's what the prompt is. Okay, so I did an example. This is kind of an application that I'm thinking about and working on. And so I took the prompt. And so what you have to do, you with the prompt here, you just have to you can download it, or you can, the simplest thing to do is just make a copy and then just rename it to whatever your name or whatever. And so here's the copy that I made earlier, and this is a founder AI support system and an AI-driven platform that helps early stage founders model, test, track, and communicate their startup ideas with real-time data, experimental tools, and AI mentorship. So it's going to create an AI mentorship thing in there as well to help you go along, and that's a part of the startup ecosystem. Okay, and so then you take this particular side to a control A, and then a control C, and you paste that into a ChatGPT. I have an example here that I did in ChatGPT, but since I can't demonstrate the deep research in there, I actually went over to Perplexity and put the paste the prompt in there. So let's see if I can scroll up here a little bit. So does anybody got any questions? Just feel free to ask about what I'm doing. So you see the prompt up here. I just pasted it into the chat, and then just want to see real quick at the beginning that founder AI tool in the startup ecosystem. So that's what I put in there, and then I came down here. Let's see what happens where it starts at. So number one. So this is kind of results, and this will help us save a little time here. So it said early stage founders is one of the stakeholders, and these are all the pain points they have and secondary pain points. And then it says investors is another stakeholder in the industry, in the startup industry. Mentors and advisors is another stakeholder. And this particular thing, it took just a few minutes to run. I said accelerators and incubators. So for those of you all out there that's not familiar with the startup ecosystem, these are all the players in the startup ecosystem. And these are the players that help you with your startup idea and help you. And they only speak one language. They speak the lean canvas when you're talking about your business model. So if you speak in any other language, they don't speak that language. You get up there talking about your solution and not your business model, they just say you're not ready. These are all the people that are out there willing to help you if you're working on a scalable business idea. Okay, then the business model. So it's got 3 under the software as a service. It's got 3 under marketplace, 3 under outcome-based business models. See, these are all the ways you can make money. A white label platform, a certification program. It's just so many ways you can make money. So it gets all those. Then it ranks them based on scalability, and so it comes up with the API first. Yep, this is surprising. A tiered SaaS platform, that's not surprising. A white label platform, but it's saying these are the top 3 ways that I can make money with this platform. And then it develops a lean canvas, which is, in our case, we call it the big idea canvas. So the problem, the customer segments, the unique value proposition, the solution, and the marketing channels, the revenue stream, and it even came up with some tier pricing that just based on what it thinks is out there with the market, and API usage fees. That's pretty neat. White label fees, mentor matching, 20. Yeah. So this is normally when I do it in ChatGPT, I don't get this much information, but it's telling me my key metrics here. Unfair advantage, cost structure. And what a lot of people don't know is no matter what industry in, most of the cost structure is already known. And so you can do all the details you want, but the people that are trying to help you, and you just need to know what the typical cost for that particular industry you're in. Existing alternatives. This is what founders are doing now. Yeah. Early adopters. So yeah, that's part of the customer segment thing. And then also have to do a high level concept. The world's first AI co-founder that transforms startup validation from guesswork into science, providing founders with the blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'll get through this quick. I hope let's see what let's see, what are you asking here? I apologize, I'm just not looking. So it didn't post it on LinkedIn. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Alrighty. So what I'll do, Sabri, is I'll post the link to the document on LinkedIn a little later, and you should be able to go back and get it. So no problem. Appreciate your asking. I didn't realize that it's not showing the chat on the LinkedIn, but we also have a YouTube channel. You can watch it on the YouTube channel, Kukui Institute, and also on our Facebook startup page as well. Okay, and okay. So number 5. So you all get the point. It's going down through all those things you're required to do in the class that gets you ready for the pitch competition. And so it's doing the different the lean canvas for each customer segment, the one-page thing. And so what happens is all you do in the Lean Stack platform, you just have to copy this information from the results of this thing and put it in the Lean Stack platform. That's what the deal is. So your why now elevator pitches for each customer segment, that's there. Let's see. And so that's pretty neat. International founders. Oh, wow. Okay. Then it ranks the variance from most to least desirable. So it's telling you which customer segment is most desirable. Okay, and now it's viability stress testing. It's telling you, it's going to tell you the customer segment that's actually is most scalable. Okay, and so it varies, and so all this information helps you decide, which customer segment to go with first. The feasibility is the one that actually, because that's the one, the test that tells you if you can get it off the ground in a few months, and so that's the this feasibility testing here. And so I don't care if you got 2, 3 jobs, 4 jobs. I'm taking all this time to explain this, but the bottom line, the thing did it in less than 2 or 3 minutes. And so, but if you do it in ChatGPT in the research mode, it will take a little longer. Yeah. So, and then these are the rollout plans, and finally down here to the come on, still more rollout plans. 13, it tells you what you need to have on each slide, and you, believe it or not, you literally can paste this up in the gamma.ai, and it'll give you some sample slides, and gamma.app. I apologize. Yeah, and so like I'll type that in the chat. It's gamma, GAMMA .app. That'll get you going on your slides, and they have a free tier. Everything I'm showing you doesn't cost any money. All this works on all the free tiers. Okay, and so and finally number 14, it gives you the verbal three minute pitch. Okay, now let's see what's the next step. The next step is so describe the business, and the more details you just put in the description of the business, the better it does. And then the industry is pretty straightforward. We did that, and then I ran it just to save the prompt ahead of time, just to save time. But like, let's say if you're, let's see, I think I got a chat GP here. So like this is uh, um, something similar to what I did. But when you do it with chat GPT, it, this was slightly different here. So yeah, so this is an example of when I did with ChatGPT in the deep research mode. And as you can see, there's a lot more information when you do it in a deep research mode. Yeah. Okay. So then the next step, what was the next step? The next step, typically in deep research mode, it's going to ask you to clarify some things, and you just type all the things on one line before you hit enter. I just type number one answer, number two answer, number three answer, and then I hit the up arrow key in ChatGPT. Now, this is the magic here, step 4. And I'm glad we're about through with this, so I can show you something else here in a little bit. So Notebook LM. So you go to Notebook LM, and I think I have. Let's see, what do I have here? I think. Okay. So this is yeah. I'm pretty sure this is the one. So in Notebook LM, what you do is you typically, the first screen you see is when you create a new notebook is add a source. You can go here. And then if you needed to add a source, and I think this was a download, but I actually use a different approach. So I'll just do it here just so you can see. And then you click open, and then it adds the source, but this information is basically the same information because I just copied the prompt. So I'm not gonna use it right now. So, but what happens is from when I copied and paste that stuff from the results from the prompt, I literally, I'll show you what I did here. I literally came at the end of this prompt here. See if I can get all the way down to the bottom. I just copied here, and then I go to my Notebook LM. And by the way, Notebook LM is free too. So you just go to you just go to Note. I'll just type part of this in there so you'll know that. Hold on just a second. Get the prompt. So okay, good. Okay, so type in the address to Notebook LM. If you have a Google Gmail account, you have Notebook LM. It's free, and so I just copied that thing. So if you do the copy approach, you come over here, same thing, you paste it in here. Oh, and I forgot I did that notebook thing, but you would paste that whole thing there and then hit insert. Okay, now this is the good part. So you have these options to generate an audio overview. An audio overview creates a podcast, and you have the option to create explain a video. I always do both, and I always do the mind map. As you can see, I went ahead and generate them early because they take a little time. But you also can create these study guides, the briefing documents, frequently asked questions, and timelines. And so just to quickly, I can, so the so it sort of it mind maps your whole business idea, and it keeps expanding on out. So it's got, so you can visually see all the parts of the prompt, and it yeah. So that's what that's all about. So this is another thing. So you just created your own chat GPT. Now you can ask your business model any question you want. You can just type it, say, what is the top customer segment. And the crazy thing is that I'm taking longer with the so it's saying early stage solo founders, and it tells you everything about that customer segment. You have your own chat GPT about your business plan, and so that's that. And then hopefully, I'm not sure if I shared the sound. Hopefully, I did. But the explainer videos, somebody, if you would, when I start playing, tell me if you can hear the explainer video.
All right, welcome to the explainer. Today, we're going to do something a little different, and I think you're going to love it. We are taking a raw, unfiltered idea for an AI startup, and we're going to put it through the ringer. We're going to deconstruct it, ultimate reality check, feasibility. This is where the rubber really meets the road.
So
it's great if people want it. It's great if you can make money, but
Did
can you
you all hear
actually
that at
build
all?
it with the resource?
Anybody hear that? But anyway, it creates an explainer video that explains your business model to you. And then was anybody able to hear that? If you would just put yes or no in the chat, I appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. And then the other next thing it does is a podcast. And
Welcome to the deep dive, where we take a stack of information and turn it into
so
instant
it's
clarity.
literally got two
Today,
people
we're
on the
plunging
podcast.
headfirst into, well, a pretty brutal reality for countless aspiring
So what I like about
entrepreneurs.
the
Yeah,
podcast
that always
is
hits
that
hard.
you can
It really
interact
does.
with it. You can literally, it may not work here, but you can hit play, and then
Oh,
you
hey,
can
our listener
ask
wants to join in. What's up?
you can ask the podcast a question. And so, what are the top 3 customer segments? So yeah, so it's not working right with this shared screen like this, but that's the way it works. Is you can ask in a question and it will answer it. So just remember that. And so that's what I like about this. So you can literally listen to this thing is telling you what other people actually think about your business idea. You're not hearing it from the way you think about it. You're hearing it from the way the world sees it. And then you can literally ask it questions and go from there. Now, one I'll do. So anybody got any questions about that? So, but that's what's so neat about this. You can literally listen to your business model and ask your business model questions. That's and if there's no way you can get a better understanding. Now, later on, and I did this a few months ago, you can literally take the results of your prompt for your business model idea thing, and you can say, and this is what's so crazy. I can say act as I'm not recommending you do this, but just to show you that what's possible. Act as a senior product manager and create a. This is from the results that create a product. I'll just say PRD. You should know with that. A product requirements document from the above. And so your founders out there, you complain about you don't have this or don't have that. I'm literally telling you, it's the AI take care of almost everything for you. So act as a senior product manager. And that's the person who writes all the requirements for your MVP. Manage. And let's just see what it does. So it's literally writing the requirements for your PRD and your software requirements document. And you literally can paste this into your notebook LM and listen to it and see if it's got all the requirements for your MVP. Yeah. And so I wasn't really planning on doing this part tonight, but then you can literally copy this and go to your favorite uh, vibe coding tool, and I suggest try it in adaptive.ai. I'll put that in the chat, and that's totally AI driven, and you got a free tier on that as well. Adaptive.ai, Replit.com. There's another one called Emergent .sh, and the one I like for enterprise stuff is called Factory.ai. And you take this, you can turn it into a PDF or whatever, and said, and go to that tool and say, please create me an AI-driven web application based on the attached PRD, and it'll start coding your thing. But what we tell people to do, not to do that until you go through the 90-day program. But what's neat about that, when you go through the 90-day program, now you actually know that you can take orders for something, and if people respond to your offer, then you know you can go out and build it within a month or two and deliver it to them. And so the AI can do almost anything. So don't think what you that you can't accomplish what you want. It's literally that simple. And my approach is I do this requirements document, and always make sure it includes all the AI stuff in the requirements document. That's why I typically say a AI driven web application. And that way it includes all the AI stuff in it. Alrighty. So we got about 10 more minutes, and then so now you actually in just the 30 minutes, you can actually learn about your business idea and start learning all the nuances. But once you get that stuff, and once you get into our program, you can literally come to you get connected to the program, and you can literally come into the platform, and all you're supposed to have like a big idea canvas. So you create a big idea canvas, copy information from your prompt that resulted from your prompt, and then you're supposed to do a thing for each variant. So you would have 5 different variants. So you should see at least 6 different things here. And then when you go into these things, into these business models, you get the traction roadmap tool, and you can create. And it's pretty straightforward on how to use it. I won't take time to do that now. But you literally can fill out all the requirements for this pitch competition, and then the final thing that you have to do in the it's just in the last week, just pull your rollout plan and develop all the slides that go in your pitch competition. So anybody have any questions about that? Yeah. All right. Okay. And I think what I'm going to do now is so the challenge that people have is that, let me get this squared away. I got one chart I can show you, and this just happened to be up here. So just bear with me just for a second here, and I'll end with a short video. So we were talking about pitching, and then the big question always is when you have an idea, you hear at the idea stage, and this green part here is our 30-day program, and this gold part is our 90-day program. And then, but you really, shouldn't try to raise money until you get to this point here. You get the product market fit. But if you notice, there's 3 curves on here. One is a traction curve. That's what, if you only have one slide in your pitch deck, you need the traction slide. And then you have your revenue, and you notice you're not making any money down here when you're doing all this stuff, when you going through your business model design stuff, but you're learning how to pitch here. But then you see, if you're spending any money, and you shouldn't be spending any money, you see your profit is negative. You're in the red. You're in the red. And so all this time looks like almost a year and a half you're in the red. So what are you supposed to do money-wise down here? And that's where the startup ecosystem comes in. The startup ecosystem will with all the perks, with all the pitch competitions, with all the programs, all the help you get, it literally covers this negative thing here. Yeah. I'll go ahead and play the video now, so it'll explain what I'm talking about. Is you literally, so the startup ecosystem, it literally takes care of that, and so you should be curious about it, and should be curious about all these different organizations in the startup ecosystem. If you founders are leaving so much money and resources on the table, it's almost turns my stomach. And you'll listen to this little short video, and you'll see what I'm getting at here. So let me see if I can pull it up. Bear with me. And this is actually a video from our
Welcome to The Explainer. This is where we break down big, complex topics into something you can actually use. And today, we are diving deep into startup funding. But I'm going to bet it's not what you're expecting. I mean, just think about that for a second. Imagine getting that kind of support for your big idea without taking out a single loan. We're talking $250,000 in free resources. And you haven't even officially formed the company yet. So how is that even possible, right? Well, it's possible because you learn to tap into a system. A system most new founders have no idea even exists. And get this, it doesn't run on your credit score. It runs on your credibility. Okay, so let's get into it. What is this $250,000 secret? Look, it's not some magic pot of gold. It's about understanding that the startup world, it plays by a totally different set of rules than what we're all taught. It's a system that lives completely outside of the traditional banks. Okay, so look at this. On the left, you've got the traditional way, right? The path we all know. Go to a bank, get a loan, pitch your product, and build on credit. But the startup way, it flips that whole script. You're not going to a bank, you're tapping the ecosystem. You're not getting a loan, you're getting free resources. And here's the biggest shift. You don't pitch your product, you pitch your business model. You're not building on credit, you're building on evidence. But before you can get to all those goodies, you have to survive what is, without a doubt, the most dangerous part of any new business journey. And honestly, this is where most great ideas, this is where they die. So this chart right here, this shows what we call the Valley of Death. And it's a brutal journey. See, in the early days, your costs are super high. You're just burning cash. Then, if you make it past that, you might start getting a little revenue, but it's slow. Definitely not enough to cover your costs. And this whole negative space, this is where most startups fail. The entire game is about surviving long enough to get to that green bar on the right, profitability. So that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you cross that desert without running out of gas? How do you pay the bills through that negative phase? Well, the answer is not a bank loan. The answer is tapping into that ecosystem we talked about. And the way you do it is by showing them evidence. Evidence that you are actively working on your idea and making progress. That right there, that's the whole ballgame. All right, this next part is absolutely crucial. And it's something I got wrong for a long time. You are probably pitching the wrong thing. Seriously. I used to go around pitching my product, my cool idea to anyone who'd listen. And crickets. Nothing. The key, the secret language. It's not about your product at all. It's about the business model. This is the language that investors and support programs actually understand. So it's not about your product or your service. It's the story of how you're going to make money with that product. So you don't pitch, hey, I have amazing coffee. No. You pitch the plan, the roadmap for how you're going to build a profitable coffee empire. That's your business model. And this lean stack roadmap, this is your map to get you across that desert. It's a system. First, you just dump your raw idea onto a simple one-page canvas. Then you start stress testing it. Step one, desirability. Do people even want this thing? Step two, viability. Okay, so they want it, but can it actually make money? And finally, step three, feasibility. Can you really build it? This process, it forces you to answer the hardest questions right up front. And here is where the magic happens. This whole roadmap thing, it's not just homework. It's not just a bunch of exercises. Every single step you take, every question you answer, it's all designed to build toward the one thing that unlocks everything. A killer pitch that opens all the right doors. Think about it. As you work through your plan, as you validate the problem you're solving, figure out your pricing, identify your customer, all that work you're doing each week, it directly builds your pitch deck for you. You're not doing busy work. You're creating the exact slides, the exact talking points that funders want to see. You are literally building your pitch deck while you build your business. Okay, but let's be real for a second. Who has time for all this? You're a founder, which probably means you're already working a full-time job, maybe raising a family, taking care of your parents. Life is happening all around you. So how in the world do you find the hours to do all this work? Well, you use a secret weapon, an AI co-founder. I mean, think about the difference here. On your own, you're looking at hours, maybe weeks of slow research. With an AI partner, you get deep research in minutes. You're struggling to sound like an investor? The AI generates that clear, concise language for you. What could take you weeks to build, you can get a solid draft of your entire model done in less than 30 minutes. It is a genuine, unfair advantage. And the tools are already out there. You can use something called a business idea prompt with ChatGPT or Gemini, and boom, it generates your whole business model canvas. Then you can take that, upload it to a tool like Google's Notebook LM to analyze it for you, or even create an instant audio podcast of your pitch so you can hear how it sounds. You can literally ask your AI co-founder questions about your own idea. It's like having a partner to poke holes in your plan and make it stronger before you talk to a single human. So let's fast forward. You've done the work. You've used your AI co-founder to build a rock-solid, evidence-based pitch. Now what? Well, now you start unlocking the good stuff. This is how you get the resources you need to cross that valley of death we saw earlier. And I'm not talking about small potatoes here. We're talking major league resources. Things like $250,000 in free credits from programs like Microsoft for Startups. That's $250,000 of real money. You don't have to pull out of your pocket to build your product. And it's not just software credits either. You can go after huge prizes in major competitions. For instance, you've got competitions like Black Ambition, which has a prize pool of over $3 million. These are organizations that are literally set up to find and fund founders just like you, but you gotta have your pitch ready. And this brings us right back to the core idea. The way you cover that negative cash flow space is through the startup ecosystem. And that ecosystem runs on one thing, evidence. Evidence that you are working on your idea. Your progress, that is your currency. Showing you've done the work, that you've stress tested your model. That's the social proof that unlocks all of these opportunities. It's how you can literally get paid to build your own dream. So you have the map, you have the secret weapon. What's the first step on your journey? The resources are out there. They're just waiting for you. But they only unlock for the people who do the work, the people who learn to speak the language. The opportunity is there. The only question is, what are you going to build?
All right, use those tools. The key takeaway from that video is you're all in the red down here while you're working on your startup, and so you literally leverage the startup ecosystem to cover all the costs in this area down here. And so, and we're here every Thursday night to answer any questions you have. If you go to the apply.kakuinstitute.org, here you can get into our program. And so literally leveraging that AI, you could have $1,000 for your startup in less than a month. And then even, but the key thing that's peanuts because you're going to learn how to enter all these other programs as well. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I'm on LinkedIn. If you even just Google my name, Lloyd Richard, you'll find everything from my phone number to all the stuff we've been doing over the years. And I appreciate all of you all for all the support and listening in. Share the word, get some more founders. I'm looking for 10 founders to pitch on September 11th. And don't be half-stepping because last cohort, I had trouble finding. I didn't even get 10 people to pitch. And so easy money. So what are you going to do? You're going to keep making excuses, or are you going to leverage the AI to help you get going here? Yeah, that's all I have for now. Next week we'll have Crystal Burke on. We had her on the program several years ago, and she was struggling with her startup, and now she's got it up and running. So she'll share her story, and also she wants to help startup founders like yourself learn how to leverage the media, be a part of the media and get some visibility for your startup. All right. Take care. We appreciate you all. And we'll see you all next week.